Hey, we humans are made up of belief systems, or rather, say, as belief systems make us. However, do you ever really sit and wonder that we have such a vast thought process? We are of the mind that's always chattering. Then do you always also think about where do you get your thoughts from? Especially those negative thoughts that hold you back. Where do you get these thoughts from? Now, as I always say, when you were born, you were obviously born free. You were obviously made to lead from your soul, from your heart. But as you grow up, just as when we're children, we start learning things for ourselves. Exactly like that. You must really understand this that when you have a negative belief about a certain thing or about yourself, let's focus on you right now. If you are someone who has a negative self belief, let's say that you don't do good in life, or if you are someone that thinks, I'm not good enough, or if you also think you are not enough at all, or if you think you're not very accomplishing, if you think you're a failure, you think you're not of a good body type, if you think you are very little, every thought that makes you feel very little in your physical, in your mental, and in your metaphysical space, everything that even before you take a step to move in the direction of something that you really like doing, you might take 10 steps backwards thinking about all the failures, all the negative things that might happen, everything that might scare you. Now I want to ask you this, that if this is something popular that people do, right? If you had nothing to lose, if there was no such thing as self doubts or no such thing as negative beliefs about the self, what would you be doing? Just imagine this. Just imagine that you are solely of the optimistic body. You do not have all of these unwanted beliefs. Now, when you're trying to do something for yourself and if fear is holding you back, now I want to ask you this, that how and where did you encounter this fear? Is it something that people have told you? Have people told you that you would not be better off on yourself if you moved to a different state, different country, different location, just relocating yourself? Have people said that you can't do it? Have people said that if you want to set up a business, you rather stick to the known than the unknown because you would not succeed in what you do not know about? These are examples. Have people also told you that you better kill all of your creative ability so you can suit to this society that is so limited? Basically, every single negative beliefs about yourself, every single thing that makes you feel small, every single thing that if you hear yourself sitting down and criticizing yourself for something, I want to tell you, a divine human being is not made to sit there and criticize ourselves. These are very, 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 very primitive thought patterns, and these are not your thoughts. Growing up, if subconsciously you picked up on a certain thing that, let's say, a family member of yours, a relative of yours, a friend of yours, a sibling, someone around you told you something, and you really held on to that, you would have a hard time moving through and navigating through that certain belief that is not even yours. Now you might think you hate a certain thing. This was my own personal journey. I for the longest time thought I had these patterns. I just had these patterns. I would just have these beliefs, I would just have these scares and fears, not knowing that these were honestly not mine, because when I started encountering them, I realized how powerful can one be. I mean, some of the patterns that we really hold on to are not even ours. We may have seen it somewhere, we may have heard of it, we may have even embedded it into our being without understanding the real meaning of it as we were growing up. Let's say we're really scared of a certain topic, or um, the most, what's like the most, I'm talking about irrational fears, right? Irrational fears that until you encountered it, I thought I hated a lot of things that I did not know about. But only when you really go against those self beliefs that are not even your own, that's when you understand that these things are not harmful. These were just somebody else's belief that you took on, that's not even yours. And only when you start to encounter things, be a little brave, that's when you know that it's not very harmful, it's not that scary. There are some things that you might even laugh about, thinking, this was it, I was scared of this little thing. Therefore, no fear, no negative beliefs. You must always understand that you as a person, you as an individual, wouldn't sit there and call yourself names. You wouldn't sit there, label yourself. You wouldn't sit there and say, hey, you can't do it. Because according to universal law, or a divine human being is always meant for higher evolution. Now, if you're bringing yourself down, you have thousands of negative beliefs. I mean, there's just no there's just no limit. You must really understand, if you're a woman and you are really so bothered about the color of your skin, I want you to know that we as a society have a long standing history about somebody's skin color, somebody's outlook. These are not even your own. You must abandon all of these beliefs that are not even your own, because they do not define you. They just start making you smaller and smaller and smaller. If someone said when you were a child that, oh, you're really dark, or your complexion is something, or anything else, that you do not, um, you're not very good at academics or something like that. And if you grow in that, it obviously is going to shape your self belief. I mean, come on, we are diverse. People on earth are so diverse, right? We are of different skin colors, of textures, of we are so diverse. It's like a spectrum of, the rainbow is beautiful because it's not of the same color. Exactly like that. Limiting self beliefs, negative thought patterns, these are not ours. Someone says something, that's for them. A person that says the limiting things, criticizes people, is only an outcome of how deeply they've known themselves, how deeply they are kind to themselves. You can see a person's relationship with others, and you can make out how the person feel about themselves at all times. If someone's very insecure, they are going to project that insecurity onto someone. If someone is happy, someone is very accepting of themselves and forgiving of themselves, you will see that pattern play out even for others. It's just a reflection, it's just projection at all times, projection. You might understand that any single time, as I say, we as a society haven't made a lot of progress. Sometimes we can't stand each other. Why do you think all this is? Because we're not very accepting of each other. We need to really be accepting of our own self before you do anything outwardly. The change happens within. And if you do not forgive yourself for something that you did a while back, trust me, there's no one sitting up there and punishing you, just like you've been told all your life. It's just you, your higher self. You are the one that's sitting here in all your consciousness and judging yourself and doing all of these things. What if you were brave enough to say, I choose forgiveness for myself in a certain situation because I did not know back then. I did not know any better. I did not know I could evolve. I did the best with the resources I had. You have multiple reasons to validate what you did, why you did. So forgive yourself. You will see that with accepting yourself, with forgiving yourself, with being kind to yourself, everything to the self from the beginning, yes, you are a priority. You will understand that through this, you will also be kinder and more gentler outwardly to others or to this world. And just as you start doing this process of self love, I want to ask you this. Let go of all of those things that you've heard about yourself. Let go of things, your mother, your father, your sibling, your friends, your society, your culture cannot define you. We're all together, but you must still understand that we're individual. We as an individual, the first step is to accept each one. If I accept myself as an individual for whatever I am, then I can accept the other like that. And that's how we move in unity consciousness. You cannot do it by ignoring yourself and trying to directly reach to everyone else. You can't do it. It happens from the self. And so, self love, self esteem, self confidence, all of these things happen from the self belief. Therefore, negative beliefs are, they're just illusions. I want to tell you this, these are just illusions. Imagine you stand here, let's say you're of the color red, but then someone approaching you says, hey, you look blue. And now maybe someone else again is going to say you look blue. Will you actually assure yourself that, hey, it doesn't matter, I know I am of the color red? Or are you going to genuinely just say, hey, these many people said I'm blue, so probably I might be blue? See, the reality does not change. You remain what you are. You will only go higher in your consciousness. You can only evolve from it. You have to let go of, the age old patterns of the unwantedness. We must let go of it for ourselves, for the future, for everyone in the here and the now. We must do this. It might look like a simple thing where I say, hey, you must let go of the negative self beliefs that describe you because it's not really you. But you don't understand this. Every single individual, when a being here on this planet makes a positive change within himself or herself, what happens is you contribute to the planetary consciousness, the collective consciousness, into the earth grid, and hence we start changing the belief system. Each one of us make earth's collective, and I want you to know that with each one of us working on ourselves, that's how it changes. It's changing for the better, and we shall not stop. This is not the time for us to stop. Every single thing, every single change you make within yourself is contributing to a greater purpose on this planet that you might not even be aware of currently. You're serving a higher purpose in serving yourself, serving the garden yourself, serving the light. Imagine if this is earth and then it has a grid around it. The more positive energies, I keep saying this, the more positivity you put into it, the more positive energy it is in. The more ignorant, the more weird we are, the more that happens. It's almost like without consciousness, without love, without heart space, we basically are zombies. We are robots. We must understand this. That's why I say negative self beliefs are, or any belief system that's not your own, but you seem to take on it and act on it. You know how zombies are? Those are weird things. I mean, it's for real. Movies just don't make characters just like that. It's for real. When someone's ignorant of the light within themselves, the love, the heart, the soul, and it's, if you're always nodding to the external factors, external self beliefs that are not even of your own, you are a puppet, and you must understand this. I hope this makes sense to you, because I really know this would. And I hope in this process it helps you, because you are a free divine being and you're not bound by these limiting beliefs of people. You must really take it out of yourself and go within. You are love, you are light, you are truth. You are. Remember, I love you so much, and I'm sending you so much healing energy and love. May you thrive in love and light. I love you.